Alright, welcome back to Case Closed, Anime Review, episode 295. We are here reviewing episode 1179, The Crimson Skeleton Mount Washio, Part 2, along with chapter 1153. This episode covers the last 3 pages of chapter 1117 and the entirety of 1118. So basically, they figure out the whole thing with the bronze statues, and then of course that Ran and Hiji tell Kachin and Ran about it. Of course, that's Bar Kachin's tablet. And then, of course, basically, they kind of figure out throughout the remainder of this episode, who killed the monk and what happened to Mori. So, and they also figure out the whole thing with the basically what they appeared to be the Crimson Skeleton, but it's actually a fake. Yeah, so they figured that out here. And so then of course they discover basically where discover that the Crimson Skeleton, just paper on tubes. And what they said that was actually ashes. And I mentioned all this about this secret room that the monks there don't know anything about, but one of them does. And figures, that little ball that we seen last episode, turns out that ball was power parabead, and it was a magnet. And this magnet opens up a secret door, which is magnetic. And apparently the edge of a tablet is magnetic for some reason. Also, apparently that, they figured this particular monk was responsible for it, when he got Hiji's charm, because basically it was shown in a flashback early on they were briefly caught in chains, and both of them inside of their good luck charms has a piece of that chain. For the chain of the handcuffs they were caught when they were children. So there was cotton door, and of course forming this little stretch out thing, turns out because the door pushed on it, and they show up with a tablet doing that, and of course the door to tune, of course they open oh crap, there's the door. And then you go look inside, Mori's gone, you're what happened here? Well, we figure out who it is. It's actually the younger one, who is a bit chubby, and yeah, this guy not only killed the monk in the room, but he also killed the Buddha researcher. Because the guy is making fake statues. And because he insulted the man's work, so he tied him up, starved him, and then basically had him caught on fire with a hiker box by. So, yeah, he's one responsible for it, and Mori just takes him with a judo flip, and he's arrested for several different charges. Let's see, he is charged with 2 counts of murder, I believe 1 count of false imprisonment. I believe also there's a forgery charge with a statue, because I'm sure basically he was making a profit off it. Yep. So yeah, 4 different charges. I remember there was one episode where there was this guy who was very powerful in the business world, but there was this actor who Conan was friends with, which apparently everyone knew who he was, and then when they finally arrested the guy had a boatload charge against, I think it was attempted murder, a bunch of murder charges. It's the first time, it doesn't happen very often we have a guy arrested for more than one crime. This guy was arrested for 3 different charges, basically 4. 2 counts of murder, 1 count of false imprisonment and attempted murder. Yes, he was going to starve him to death. And also, basically, a counterfeit scheme. And they all figure, the reason why the guy poked fun at the statue was because it was a fake. Not the actual one, because it was implied the guy was going to sell the real one with a bunch of fake ones. Yeah. So basically, this temple had 4 monks. 1 monk is dead, the other went to jail, and now they have only 2 monks left. By the way, these characters do not pop up again in this series. They're just here for this one story. Surprisingly, we don't have any police officers who return for this one. Not Mori, not Tagagi, Kabar, Sato. They're not here. Well, they say in story the reason why because of the rain, but they apparently arrived 30 minutes prior to that, 30 minutes after they confessed the crime. And that's pretty much the episode in a nutshell. Next up we have is the newest chapter of the manga, 1153. The truth is in the photo. Yep. Oh, by the way, this actually is probably one of those rare times where Mori's in the episode. And Hiji's there too, because Hiji's there, you don't need to knock out more to explain the next thing. So, basically, throughout this is a similar thing. So, something is up. Basically, because supporters are there. So, basically, we have a model, a politician, and an actor. And a whole thing with this number thing on the calculator. And then Sarah points out, though, that that message is murder. A message for her, because she's a detective. It turns out that because it was shown last chapter that he was grabbing a wheel. It turns out that was actually a tire size. Yep, that's what it was. Basically, the numbers basically were tire sizes, not money. Oh no, not money. It was a tire size. And because the fact the guy was marrying his tires, back that I think he also mentioned she could become a model too because she's a very stunning woman. So the person needs to figure out who was basically responsible for this was in fact the director. And the fact he came out like the hidden room that he actually kind of shows off the hidden room too. So. Yeah. Yeah, so because doors have because basically doors that keep up with the Pacific's automatic. That kind of is true, yes, but basically a business card got inside. Slipping out. It was sent. Cologne. Yep. So yeah. After explaining the whole thing too, where's your proof? You better answer right away. I saw you take that phone out of your phone pocket a while ago. The screen's been on the whole time. You left your phone on. Battery could be run out any second. That phone's on. And let me guess, you unlock Amur's photo phone using his fingerprint to disable the auto lock. Then you change his wallpaper to one of your ads to make you think it was your phone. If you swipe a SIM card victim. Yeah, and it turns out the reason why he had the phone because there's a photo. Yeah, because of the fact there was a... Okay, so... They're referencing a hotel bombing here with this one. Because it was discovered that these two actors were seeing each other. It was GPS thing, and in fact there was also a member of the Yakuza there. Yeah, and of course then Conan discovers Masami's mom, little Sarah. Actually, it's her mom de-aged. And then we show Rum seeing it. There's of course Vermouth, and there's a flashback when Vermouth basically forced her to have it by making out with her. And points out two people died, and basically one was able to reverse age. He does not know that happened with Conan. He does not know that at all. And he questions why in the world it is like two people died, and why one person is alive but de-aged. But very interesting for this one. But yeah, overall, great chapter. But we probably have to wait maybe like a couple months before we have another chapter come out, given how this manga is. But I give a chapter a 10 out of 10. Yep, so yeah, that's basically a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. I'm going to go in a bit, and when I get back, I'm going to start watching, I'm going to have a Doctor Who review ready, and also that'll be basically like 5 more anime to cover. One is Brand New Review Series, and then I'm hoping after that it will be My Hero Academia, Tales of the Wedding Rings, of course I'm talking Rama Half, and Spy X Family. There's about 5 more to go, okay? But until you see the next video, come on. Bye.